Ivan Lewis, cost of Cameron, campaign going on this weekend specifically. What's the main point you're trying to drive home?
Well, Labour wants a recovery for the many, not the few. And what we know, what everybody here in Harlow knows, Susie Strides told me, she speaks to lots of people, is that their wages are being frozen, in some cases cut, whilst their household bills are going up and up, which is why Labour's policy is to freeze energy bills, to support businesses to introduce a living wage, to improve the minimum wage, whilst the Conservatives under Mr Cameron, basically people are £1,600 worse off than they were in 2010 when the election took place. So this is an out-of-touch government that doesn't really get it. They boast about an economic recovery, but who is that recovery actually benefiting? It's not benefiting the vast majority of hard-working people in Harlow.
So your campaign, obviously it's a campaign, how will you know if this campaign is working? What will be the sign? Will it be local elections in May?
Well, I think it's what people say to you on the doorstep. What they increasingly say is, Ed Miliband, your party, get it. Because when the Conservatives boast about economic recovery, of course it's good that growth is starting to come back into the economy. We welcome that. But the test of a successful economy is those people who are working hard, playing by the rules, doing the right things. Is their standard of living, is their quality of life getting better? And what people in Harlow and many other places tell us, that simply isn't the case. And what they want to know from politicians is, what can we practically do to put more money in their pocket to improve their quality of life and their family's well-being? And the answer is, Ed Miliband has made it clear. We would freeze energy bills until 2017. We would expand childcare. We would also, as I say, encourage businesses to pay the living wage. We would strengthen the minimum wage. And of course we would abolish the nasty bedroom tax, which is putting a lot of pressure on some of the most vulnerable people here in Harlow and elsewhere. So there's a lot of things that government could do to make life better for those people who work hard and play by the rules. And in fact, there's a complacency at the heart of this government. They seem to be very out of touch with reality. When they're on the TV and the radio boasting about recovery, most people think about their own lives and they don't see it.
Susie, out and about in the streets in January Millwards, what messages were you getting out in Millwards?
Lots of different stories from people, but the main thing that was coming up on the doors was obviously around people's energy bills, people's homes being cold over winter, people not being able to afford to pay their bills, but also actually the state of the housing, and people have just been really concerned that actually lots of housing has just been left and not had the investment that it needs. So a combination of energy bills, housing, and other issues coming up today.
So this campaign, cost of Cameron. Why cost of Cameron? Why not cost of coalition or the Tories? Why Cameron?
Because I think it's really important that David Cameron, our Prime Minister, knows that people across this country are not happy with the decisions that they've made, with the fact that they haven't stood up to the energy companies, with the fact that they haven't stood on the side of people that are struggling, with the fact that they aren't investing in housing, they're not building enough new homes. And I think it's important that he knows that people in Harlow and across the country see him to blame for this. Because the fact is he's the leader and he's not making the right calls, and he's definitely not making the right calls for hard-working people in Harlow.
When do you feel a campaign like this, and obviously the cost of living is a mantra for Labour, how will you know when or where your campaign is working or not?
I think we can already see that our campaign is working. The fact that, as I say, I open the door today and someone says to me, "Oh, you're Susie Stride, I know who you are, and I know that you guys would be freezing energy bills." The fact that people are saying back to us what our policies are, and they can see that there is clear dividing lines between Cameron and Ed Miliband. The fact is with Cameron, your energy bills are going up, your houses aren't getting the investment that they need. With us, you'd be seeing energy bills coming down, but also, Ed Miliband has made that fantastic commitment to build 200,000 new homes, the commitment to more free childcare. These things matter to people in Harlow, and the fact is, under Cameron, the cost of Cameron, you're not seeing those issues be addressed. So I would say our campaign is already working and is only going to keep building from here.